Hello, fifth grade. This is Miss Burton. How are you? Hope you are taking care of yourself and being safe. I wanted to finish up the book that we were reading when we were together, which is Ghost by Jason Reynolds. I'm sure you remember. Since we've been gone so long, and I was gone even longer, I can't really remember where we left off. So I'm just going to start on chapter 9 again in the book Ghost. If you happen to have it, you can read along. Otherwise, you can just listen. And what I'll try to do next time is involve you all in it instead of doing a YouTube video. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 9. World record for cleaning the dirtiest car. One time in gym class, we had to do this thing for warm-up where Mr. Perham made us form two lines facing each other. Everybody had to reach out and hold the hands of the person standing in front of them. For me, that person was, of course, stupid Brandon Simmons. His hands felt slimy, as if he had just blown his nose into his palms, which he probably did, just to be a jerk. After we all were holding hands, Mr. Perham stood in front of the line with us, with his back to us. "This is called a trust fall," he said. "I'm going to let myself fall backwards, and I'm trusting you all are going to catch me." "Like stage diving?" Greg Dodson said. Mr. Perham turned around. "Pretty much." For someone about to be all trusting, he looked kind of worried. Shoot, I was worried for him. I mean, I wouldn't trust somebody like Brandon to catch nobody other than himself or Monique. But Perham turned back around, took a deep breath, and leaned back. That's basically what the whole "you gotta tell a secret to eat" thing Coach pulled on us was all about. It was like a trust fall with words, a warm-up to being defenders. By the end of the dinner, it seemed like we were all connected in some strange way that none of us had imagined. And it stayed that way as we came to practice on Monday. Now, if you remember, the coach had taken all the new runners to dinner. That's what he did every year. So that's what he's talking about. Aaron teased me as Lou, Patty, and Sonny hung around talking to each other before the stretch. Coach and Whit were on the side of the track, having an extra long conversation with Chris Meyer's father. "Look at the newbies. All of a sudden, y'all besties, huh? Let me guess. Patty told y'all a secret about how she got a crush on Curran." Curran grinned at the other players, laughed. "Ain't nobody got a crush on Curran," Patty replied. "Dang, Curran, you heard that," Freddie chimed in, yanking the drawstring on his shorts. "Yeah, I heard her. What's wrong with me, Patty?" Curran asked, fighting back his embarrassment. "Sorry, Curran," Patty started, "but I don't like boys who jump the gun." Everybody laughed, and Crystal Speed gave Patty a 5, then fired off a few finger guns at Curran. Pew, pew. "What you laughing at, Crystal? No Speed? When's the last time you won a race?" Curran fired back. "The last time I seen yo mama," Crystal said. "Ain't never ran so fast, 'cause I ain't never seen somebody so ugly." Hey, no need to bring anybody's mom into this," Sonny chimed in, struggling to get his voice to cut through the ooze. "Oh, yeah?" Kieran was now feeling big. Being laughed at was getting the best of him. "How about we talk about yours, newbie?" "That's enough, Kieran." Aaron, who started this whole mess, finally decided to step in and fix it, but it was too late. "No, let's talk about Sonny's mama," Kieran insisted, now sizing Sonny up. We all knew he was just joking and that whatever zing he was going to attempt was just going to be silly. But still, this was Sonny. His mother wasn't even alive, and I knew that. And to me, that fact made those jokes off limits. I also knew Sonny wasn't the kind of guy to stand up for himself, so I did. "Let's not." I stepped in front of Sonny and looked cold into Kieran's eyes. Kieran faced me, trying to hold his square, but I could tell instantly that he didn't want what I had for him. "Y'all see this kid?" he said, turning around to the other vets. Patty and Aaron came up alongside me, joining me in protecting our friend. Yeah, we see him. And since you a cupcake, we suggest you leave him alone, Aaron said, shutting Kieran down. Then a hand slap, slow, one, then another, then another. Coach was standing with Wit clapping. That was fantastic, he said. Wasn't it, Wit? I thought so, Wit replied, folding his arms across her chest. So many tough guys and girls on this team. Coach stopped himself. Wait, did I just call y'all a team? He started toward us. That's what this is, right? Right? Yes, Coach, Aaron said, instantly slipping back into his role as Coach's pet. So, only Aaron knows we're a team. We're a team, Coach. Yes, Coach, we're a team. We are a team. So then act like it. You understand me? Each and every one of you. He waved a finger past each of our faces. Act like it. Matter of fact, learn from the newbies. Defend each other. They ain't your opponents. They're your new family. And as y'all can see, they mean business. I looked at Patty, Lou, and Sonny and tried hard to totally cheese. Then I looked at Kieran and nodded as Coach commanded, now let's stretch it out. Toe touches. Everybody down. After stretching and warm-up, the sprinters spent the rest of the practice doing fart legs, which sounds like fart licks. Funniest name ever, fart lick. Ha! But it has nothing to do with licking farts. It just means you run 3 minutes at 80% speed and 1 minute full out. Sounds easy, right? Try doing 10 of them. It's harder than it sounds. Way harder, trust me. On the first few, I was able to keep pace with Lou, Mikey, and Aaron, and on the fourth, I decided to prove a point and turn the jets on. We hit the final stretch, the last 100 meters, which was when we were supposed to run full out. And I must have channeled my inner Usain and bolted to the end. Good job, Ghost, Coach said, whistle still in his mouth, clasping his hands behind his back. I bent over as the other boys crossed the line. They all swung their hands toward me, dapping me as Coach continued. You prove that you can get it if you want it. Now get back in the line. But I couldn't move because even though Coach had blown the whistle, I had blown my legs. I can't. I panted just loud enough for Aaron to hear me. I dropped to one knee. He grabbed my arm. Yes, you can. Let's do it. You got some more in you. And even though he was the captain and kind of a suck-up, and he'd gotten smoked by me, a stupid decision that didn't feel nearly as good as I thought it would, I knew he meant that I still had more. Needless to say, the rest of the practice was rough and ended in me crawling from Coach's cab barefoot to the house, through the house, into the bathroom, and into the bathtub, where I basically let the hot water cook my muscles. And that's how it was every Monday. Every other day during the week was similar, but with a different routine. Coach had it set up so that we always knew what we were doing at practice every day. That way, if he was late or if Coach Wit wasn't around, Aaron could run the workout for the team. So it went like this. Mondays, fartleks, which we meant an afternoon of running my legs to death and an evening of boiling them back to life. Tuesdays, technique, how to come off the block, elbows in, open up your stride, head up, back straight, glide, don't wobble, be a horse, not a penguin. Run through the finish line, not to the finish line. Blah, blah, quack, quack, wah, wah on the line. Whistle, whistle, over and over and over again. Wednesdays, ladders. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also known as don't eat a big lunch day. Going from 4 to 1 was rough, but most of us could crush it. Even me. It was heading back up the ladder that was the killer. Go down, throw down. Go up, throw up. The absolute worst. Thursdays, long run. Every week, a different route. Once I was finally able to keep up, it was kind of cool being part of the train of runners zooming down the sidewalks, dodging people and bus stop benches and fire hydrants and trash bags, with the motivation mobile trailing behind. My only fear was that one day Coach Witt would lead us on the wrong route, the route that went past the sporting goods store, where I was probably a wanted fugitive. You know why, you remember. Sure, I could just turn my head or shield it with my shirt, pretend to wipe sweat, and nobody would know it was me. But the shoes, there was no disguising them. That girl, Tia, would know the sparkle of the silver bullets easy. Luckily, we never went that way. Fridays, everybody's favorite day off, thank God. I had pretty much gotten used to everything and everybody. Mean Mikey mumbling stuff, Aaron, the captain of the team, acting like the captain of the team, which at first I wasn't so sure I was going to be okay with. I mean, the guy had a big mouth, like big, big, but he knew how to keep everybody together and motivated, which could get hard when you're on the side puking your guts out. And then there was the four of us, the newbies, our special gang. I had got used to Patty and Lou snapping on each other and arguing all the time. I had gotten used to Sonny quoting some spacey book that nobody ever read, or saying something really cool but it's so out there that you don't really even know why it's cool, but it's cool. As a matter of fact, I think that's the record he holds. The record for saying the coolest "what in the world is he talking about" sayings. Definitely. I had even gotten used to Coach on my back every day about my homework, which I usually got done during the ride home. And whatever I didn't, I finished while Ma was zoning into the cheesy movie of the night. Even Coach's stupid whistle and the constant shouting of "on the line" became just as normal as sunflower seeds from Mr. Charles' store. I had gotten used to it all, and I was pretty sure that they had gotten used to me. So everything was cool. Maybe the coolest it had ever been. But Uniform Day changed everything. Uniform Day was the day when Coach was going to give us our jerseys and shorts. He had been talking about this day for 2 weeks, going on and on about how Uniform Day was important because it meant you were officially on the team. It was the last piece of the puzzle, and I wanted that piece. I mean, I had traded running in my jeans for a pair of cutoff scrubs I got from my mom, but that was like running in a pair of drawers. And when I got to sweating, man, straight up gross. So a uniform sounded amazing. An actual uniform, just like basketball teams, except for a track team. Yeah. Coach showed up at practice carrying the box. He dropped it on the track in front of us as he bent and stretched, getting ready for the usual Technique Tuesdays, routine work. I was going to practice coming off the blocks because it was where I needed the most help. It felt weird to not just stand up straight and run when I heard the whistle, but to bend down and press my feet against that metal thing was way weird. "Bring it in," Coach said. "As you all know, our very first meet of the season is this Saturday. You've worked hard these past few weeks, and I'm proud of you. So to get you excited about smoking everybody this weekend, I'm going to give out this year's Defenders uniforms." We clapped it up as Coach folded the cardboard flaps of the box back. "When I call your name, come get your uniform and go put it with your stuff. Then give me some warm-up laps," he said. Then one by one, he called each runner forward. I was standing next to Lou, and when Coach called his name, I gave him a way to go nudge. He grabbed his gear, then jogged back and gave me 5. The jersey which he held up was electric blue, with gold letters across the front. Defenders. Underneath, the word was a picture of a fist clenching a wing. It would go perfect with the silver bullets. I liked it. No, I loved it. "Sweet," Lou sang out. "Man," I said, not really believing how good it looked. Coach called out name after name: Outlaw, Speed, Lancaster, Farrar, Bullock, Fulmer, McNair. And after every name, I'd say to myself, waiting, "Cranshaw, Cranshaw, Cranshaw. Tate." Cranshaw, Hayes, Cranshaw. But Coach went on and on until he got to the last uniform, my uniform. But he never called out my name. And that's it, Coach said. That's it. I knew my eyes were bugging. That's it. Everybody was checking their jerseys out, putting them in their gym bags or jogging around the track. But I was still waiting. What about me? I asked. I didn't understand what was going on. Where were my shorts? My jersey? Where was my uniform? Oh, Coach said, as if he suddenly remembered that he had left me out. But how could he have left me out? I had proven myself I was pretty much the best sprinter on the team. At least one of them. Whatever. Didn't matter, I thought, because I reminded him. All right. I have something for you, Ghost, Coach said, digging back in the box. When he pulled his hand from the brown cardboard, he wasn't holding no electric blue dopeness. Instead, he was holding a piece of paper folded into a small square. What's this? I asked. Unfold it and see, Coach said, his face changing, falling into that familiar look of disappointment, the way Principal Marshall's face does whenever I've had an altercation. I unfolded it as quickly as I could because And what I found on the piece of paper was the most shocking thing ever. It was a picture of me dashing from the sports store, a close-up of my face, and underneath it in red, big bold red, was the word shoplifter. So he done got found out. They took pictures. There was a camera in the store. How crazy can you get not to think that there would be a camera in the store? I looked up at Coach. My tongue had suddenly turned into a stone in my mouth. I couldn't breathe, like I had just finished running ladders, like I was going to yak up every sunflower seed I had ever eaten. And if there was ever a sunflower growing in me, it was definitely dying right then. I went to go pick up the uniforms at the sporting goods store, and guess whose photo was taped to the window? I didn't say nothing. I couldn't. Guess, Coach insisted, forcing me to say it, but I just couldn't. He snatched the paper back, ripped it into confetti. That's your uniform, Coach said, holding his hand open so I could see the white confetti. And since you can't wear this, he turned his hand over and let the paper fall to the ground like awkward snowflakes. You can't run. So take your silver shoes and have a seat. Wait, Coach, sit, he shouted, pointing at the wooden bench. Everybody looked at me and I started walking, but they weren't laughing and instead just seemed shocked and concerned, which was probably the only reason I didn't take off running away from the track and off the basketball court of Mr. Charles or any place else. Instead, I did as Coach asked and sat down. And for the rest of you, mind your business, Coach warned the team. If I hear anything about this, anything at all, you can give your uniform right back. Am I clear? The team shook about the prospect of having to hand over their sweet new jerseys, grumbling and starting their warm-up laps. I stayed right there on that bench the whole practice, and Coach never once looked over at me, not even to check that I was still there. It was like he didn't even care. As a matter of fact, I could have just gotten up and left, but that seemed like a bad idea because I felt like if I left now, I could never come back, and my life on the track team would be over for good. So I just sat it out and hoped for the best. But I don't know what the best could have been. I was caught. Didn't really think it would happen. And even though I had already told Coach the shoes were a gift from my mom, I still had to tell my mom how I got them at some point. And I planned on telling her that Coach got them for me and then hope and pray that she never thanked them. When I think about it now, that was the stupidest idea ever. Wow. Anyway, the point is I wasn't a thief. I mean, I guess I was, but I wasn't a criminal. I never swiped anything before. I was just a dude who needed some new shoes to run in. After practice, Everybody came over to me doing the best they could to hold their words in, but sending me all that "what did you do" with their eyes. They each gave me a 5 as they left, and it was like they were giving me my final 5, the one that said, "We don't know what's about to happen to you, but hold your head up." The one just before I'd have to walk the plank. "Let's go," Coach threw at me the once everyone had left. His words knocked against my chest like knuckles. A two-piece. "Let's go." I grabbed my bag and followed him to the car. As I opened the back door, he spat. "Up here," delivering 2 more to the ribs. He threw everything in the back seat as usual, then opened the passenger side door. I closed the back door and got up front. As we rode to the city, neither of us said a thing. Coach didn't look over at me or nothing. He just bit down on his bottom lip, and occasionally he would shake his head like he was picturing the picture of me in the store over and over again. I thought about trying to explain myself, but what was I going to say? I didn't steal them, because I did. So I just sat there. My legs became wooden with fear. All right, I'm going to stop right there because chapter 9 is a pretty long chapter. And as you know, I'm going to go ahead and put my bookmark there. And when I come back next time, we will finish chapter 9. And I hope you all are enjoying this. I really wanted to see how and when Castle was going to get caught. And now we know that there was a camera that took his picture, and they actually have his picture up on the window of the store. So he can't even go past there. Like, he is just done. So anyway, give me some feedback. Let me know, what do you think? Email me and tell me, what do you think Coach is going to do? Do you think Coach is going to turn him in? What do you think is going to happen next? And I will see you next time.